Hey there everybody, welcome to Shaney Entertaining. Hey guys, so with all this solo hoopla going around, I decided that it was time for me to get in on some solo action. Well, I'm always getting in some solo action, just not movie solo action. No, this solo action. So I was invited to the premiere, guys, and I had such a great time. You know, they had the Millennium Falcon there, and everybody was having such a joyful time on the carpet. There was red carpet, and everyone was lying and fibbing and talking such great things about a mediocre movie that it's almost forgettable. Did I see the movie? Is anything I said real? No. Nobody invited Shaney to any premieres. This is all just wishful thinking. It's kind of the theme of today's video, is wishful thinking. Wishful thinking on everybody's perspective here. Basically what I wanted to talk about today concerning Solo is, I've already seen the first impressions. I've seen people who are like me, you know, are trying to battle against Lucasfilm and get them to change their dark ways, to get Mickey Mouse to change his ways. I ain't changing for nobody, right? We're trying to get him to see the light and, I guess, boycott, for lack of better words. I like the teaching a lesson better. And then the other side, the people who like it, and the people who want to enjoy it, and want to pretend that everything's just great in the world, and go with blinders on, and just say, everything's good, I don't care, Star Wars universe is just fine. Luke Skywalker's, everyone's fine, just leave me alone, right? And you're seeing sort of a disconnect between the two on the Solo movie here. And what people, I think, are going to expect from this. So I'm here to just kind of say, guys, to hold those expectations in. I mean, this movie is not a make or break anything, all right? And people who are wanting this to fail and think that if it fails, well, you know, Mickey Mouse is going to look at the numbers and go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't make all the money I wanted to make. Well, that tears it. Kathleen Kennedy, you're fired! That's not happening. Not with this movie. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I just don't foresee it happening because of the Solo movie. And the reason I say this is because the fact that I don't think that really Mickey Mouse had any expectations about any of this. I've been going to the Disney store, I've been going to the toy stores, I've been paying attention to commercials, and I haven't seen any extra money being spent on this movie. Mickey Mouse isn't sending the dough. And that tells me that even Mickey Mouse says, I don't think this movie's gonna do well. Ha! Hey Lego, you guys spend the money. Right? I think the only thing I've ever seen is Lego toys and Lego commercials. I haven't really seen, I've seen a few figures here and there, but nothing extravagant, nothing major, and nothing really that suggests that Disney is actually supporting this. I mean, it's Star Wars, so they're always gonna give a little support, and they always know that you can make a little money off toys here and there, but I don't see the push that other movies have had. It's definitely not The Incredibles. You go to the Disney store and you see shelf after shelf of Incredibles toys, and that movie is still a ways away, and yet around the corner Solo's movies here, and there's like maybe like one shelf with like a couple of things, and I'm serious, a couple of things. Like I literally was there a couple of days ago, and there was like one shelf that was like few things, like a few toys. Like I think there was an outfit for kids, like the leather jacket, and that's about it. And there was not really no vehicles. There was barely anything. Disney can afford to lose money, and they're not going to lose money on this. Let's not kid ourselves. As much as we want them to, and I do, I really do, they're not gonna. The name alone, they're gonna make some money, all right? And we all gonna sit there and say, oh, they're not gonna, but they're gonna. They're gonna make money on it. And is this movie bad enough that I mean, we kind of want it to be bad enough in some ways that people say, this is gross, but that's not gonna happen either. And then this is all wishful thinking. We all want this to be horrible. And from the sounds of it, it's not horrible. Listen, I don't trust critics at all. I've already unfollowed every critic, I mean big name critic out there, like Collider. I've unfollowed them a long time ago, especially because after The Last Jedi, I can't hear them anymore. You know, like when they speak, it's like, right? That kind of thing is like, I went to go see Solo movie, and it was a joyous romp, a brilliant manipulation of negative space. You know, they're gonna say whatever they have to say to not offend some people. They're gonna keep a very, you know, it's okay, it's an okay movie, it's alright. You know, very few people are gonna have the courage to actually say the truth about how they feel. They don't want to incur Mickey's wrath. You better say what I tell you to say, unless you not be invited to any more of my premieres, right? They want to toe the line. And I've already said, if you're a movie critic, and your YouTube channel is based on your honest opinion, and I'm supposed to listen to your opinion and take it in and make a judgment on whether I spend my money on based on your opinion, and you are out there shilling, and you're out there and your opinion is pretty much either wishy-washy because you don't want to offend someone, or then it's like, you know, completely just false, or you're just with blinders on, or whatever it is. I can't take you seriously anymore, and if I can't take what you're saying seriously, and if I can't take your word, then you're not really worth anything at this point as a critic. And if I can't believe it, what you're saying, then you're useless. You're useless! No good for you! You're out! That's why I don't listen to anything anyone says. You can read me all the critics, and the same thing goes for Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone's going on the score. It's 69. It's, you know, and some people are saying, oh, it's horrible. And some people are saying it's okay. Let's be honest. 69 is about what? Who knows? Who knows what the real number is? Because these are the critics' scores, right? We don't know what the fans think yet. So when people are already saying, oh, the critics don't like it, 69 is, it's mediocre. But I mean, I will say one thing. And obviously 69, with Disney's financial influence, 69 doesn't bode well, I would say. However, like I've said before, I don't see Disney actually spending a lot of money on this movie, so I don't know if they've actually spent the money, you know, to pay for the critics' scores, as I've seen them do for The Last Jedi. So, you know, conspiracy theory, be it what it is, I don't care. There's a lot that goes into it. I take all this stuff with a grain of salt. What I'm hearing from the critics, you have to listen to the words behind the words, right? You usually kind of tell if someone likes a movie if they focus on something specific. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, you know, this movie I saw was so good. I mean, they had this scene, and this scene was incredible, and remember when they did this, and remember when Han Solo flew here, and he did this, and he said this line, and this was an awesome line, and oh yeah, that reminds me of this line. You know, when you hear someone talk like that, you can generally say that they like this movie. But when they're like, it was okay, you know, it had some moments, it was good, the opening act was a bit slow, and then the middle act was okay, but I mean, I had fun. You get that sort of wishy-washiness, you can kind of see that they're not genuine about the reaction, right? I like people who have enthusiasm. And when they show enthusiasm for a movie that they genuinely love, like The Last Jedi, whenever I listen to somebody liking that movie, there was never any enthusiasm. There was nothing, like no scenes that they point to. The one scene from The Last Jedi that people always pointed to was the throne room lightsaber scene. You know, that's the only one that I could see. Oh yeah, that was a great scene, remember that? All the things people would just say was, it subverted your expectations. It was like this talking point that Disney sent to everybody. What am I supposed to say, Mickey?
I want you to say this, and this, and this, and I want you to avoid saying this, and that.
It subverted my expectations, and it was brave. And it was like on repeat, every critic. It subverted my expectations. More than anything, it was brave. It took everything that I expected to see in this movie, and it just subverted that, right? And we know that there was no scene other than that one throne scene, which was kind of a mediocre lightsaber scene. I don't even think that lightsaber scene holds up to any of the lightsaber scenes in the prequels. Not one lightsaber scene or battle, and that wasn't even a lightsaber battle. It was just, you know, it was a well-shot scene, I suppose, but other than that, I wasn't really enthralled with it, and I don't think it holds up to Phantom Menace. Hell, I don't even think it holds up to Obi-Wan and Darth Vader's from the New Hope's lightsaber scene. You know, where he's just like, you can't win, Darth, strike me down, and I shall be more powerful than you could possibly imagine. And then he barely does this kind of, I can't even move my arm swing. And he just thinks into his clothes. No! Like, at least that had emotion behind it, right? And that's something that The Last Jedi couldn't touch. Yeah, so when it comes to critics and their opinions, they're like assholes. Everyone's got one. You know, so I don't put any stock in anything the critics are saying, and I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, for me, I'm going to judge Rotten Tomatoes, and it's not so fresh. To me, the Rotten Tomatoes list isn't very fresh, and I could care less what the Rotten Tomatoes scores are, especially the critics. I mean, I kind of take a little bit more to heart what the fans say, but the critics I don't, and even that could be skewed, so the only thing they can just genuinely say is what you thought of the movie. And you know what I thought of it, because I'll give you a genuine answer. And I'm not gonna see this movie. I'm not giving them my money. I already said that. And the reason I'm not gonna give them my money, because really what this movie is, it's just a way for Walt Disney to make a little bit of money in between the big movies, right? That's all they really care about. Just keeping Star Wars in your brain from one movie to the next, or not put a lot of thought into any of these movies. It's just pre-manufactured fast food to come out one after the next, after the next, after the next, and you're gonna get just like this sort of ho-hum movie. You know, it's gonna have some chuckles, it's gonna have a little action, but really there's no substance to it, and is just kind of a forgettable movie. If it wasn't called Star Wars, then no one would care. It'd be a forgettable movie that you'd probably go in the theaters for one weekend and then out the next. I kind of would like to see more than that. With the money what Disney could do, you obviously know that they just don't care. And that's why I've opted not to give them my money. It's called Star Wars, you're just gonna take in all the good Star Wars money and bank on that, not produce anything. I'm not about that anymore, guys. I'm more selective. And I hope you guys would be too. Like I said, point in case, the Obi-Wan movies. Anyone really give a crap about the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie? I don't really care. The prequels was to me Obi-Wan Kenobi's movies. How much more do we need to see? Is there stories to be told? Maybe, sure. Are they going to tell it properly? Not really. It's going to be something that they throw out. At least maybe you'll get Ewan McGregor, which is a good actor. He'll probably play it, and that's the one redeeming factor of it. But the rest, most likely, is going to be tonally off. It's probably not going to have any emotion or any real substance to it. It's just fast food at this point. It's movie fast food. Well, I'll wait for the real reviews to come in, but this is really what I expect. I don't expect anything too tragic. I think you're going to have Alden Ehrenreich's performance will probably be like what everybody believes it to be, sort of, pretty off. Probably everyone's talking about Glover's performance is great. Which is probably going to be okay and good. There's probably going to be funny moments. There's going to be ha-ha, hoo-hoo. There's going to be like little chuckles and offbeat humor that they love to throw into these movies. It's going to be tonally all over the place. I'm guessing the story is going to be sort of forgettable and forgettable characters and villains. That's all I'm going to say. And in the end, it's not going to break the bank for Disney, and it's not going to ruin the movie. So all these people expecting this movie to fail or to... I'm sorry, this one's not going to be the one. The only thing I could hope for, and this is me as a guy who cannot stand what Lucasfilm is doing, and I want to see this thing fail. I know it sounds bad, but I do. For the future of Lucasfilm and Star Wars, I did want to see it fail. And what I mean by fail, I mean it falls extremely flat. Now, unless the messages in this movie were like The Last Jedi's, remember, the most offensive part about The Last Jedi wasn't just the movie being bad. It was how they portrayed the characters, how they were looking at you right in the face and telling you that everything you thought sucks and everything you are, you're old and this is for kids now. All your heroes are gonna die and so deal with that, right? That's not gonna happen in this movie. So there's really not gonna be anything that's gonna anger us to fuel the rage in the way that movie did. So to expect anything else is folly. For me personally, the way I see Walt Disney faltering enough to make an impact is not gonna be in this movie. I'm making my prediction right now, and I believe that even J.J. Abrams' next movie, the Star Wars, will probably not be as bad as The Last Jedi. Because, you can't get much worse than The Last Jedi, guys, right? That's pretty much as low as you can possibly get. So there's all the expectations is already pretty much done. So there's nowhere to go from there. So J.J. Abrams comes out and fixes certain things, can't fix Luke completely, but maybe helps out a little. Unless he doesn't overtly come out with a anti-male agenda and anti-fan agenda, right? And if it's just sort of like The Force Awakens was, just sort of a mediocre, kind of a movie, then we're not going to get too angry about it, and it'll still make its movie and money in the way this is. The only way is if it fails. And the only way it's going to fail, and I hate to say this, guys, I hate to say it, because I don't like the guy. It's gonna fail when we see Rian Johnson's actual trilogy. That's when it's gonna fail. And I know people are gonna be all over me. People be like, we can't let that happen. I know, but there's nothing so tragic is gonna happen between now and then that's going to change anything. I can't foresee it. I hope I'm wrong. I wanna be wrong. I want to be wrong on this. I would like to see this movie fail to the point of embarrassment for Disney, but I cannot see that happening. I want to see it, but I just don't. Unless the next movie doesn't make any money. Episode 9 makes no money at all. Really bad. Takes a Justice League kind of hit. Then I don't see them making too many big changes, unfortunately. Because if they were going to change it, they would have done it already. Rian Johnson, if he was doing the next movie, yes. If Rian Johnson was still doing the next one, episode 9, sure, I could see that making a bomb, and still the fueling the anger. That's not the case. He is going to get his trilogy, and I hope he doesn't. But as it stands now, it's still there. And once that happens, that's when I think the cataclysmic pit dive is going to happen. And it's going to take a while. It's going to take a couple of years for that to happen. But until the Rian Johnson and Johnson, does Johnson and Johnson make douche? Rian Johnson's a douche. but I don't know if Johnson & Johnson makes douche. Until he crashes and burns with his brilliance of movie making and subverting expectations and making movies that only he gives a crap about. And the fact that we've just heard him say stuff like, I think SE Reviews did a thing where he said something to the effect of he likes it when half the audience hates his movie. I mean, like, you belong in an art museum, buddy. You should hang up Rian Johnson in an art museum and just like, hey guys, I want half the people to hate me. He's that's a troll. And I know if he trolls, he's gonna troll the audience. It's in his nature. It's in his nature to troll. So Rian Johnson's definitely gonna troll in his trilogy. And my guess is, my prediction, the first movie in his trilogy is going to come out. And I think he's going to troll again, and I think it's going to have the same effect as The Last Jedi. Maybe not quite as bad, because we already sort of expect him to be a troll, but I do think it's going to be bad. And I do think that's when you're going to see the dive in Disney sales. That's when the rage is going to be enough, and I don't think he's going to complete his trilogy. Well, then you'll see maybe Kathleen Kennedy gets fired, Hidalgo gets fired, and then after that first movie, Rian Johnson gets canned from his own trilogy, and then someone else takes over. That's my prediction, guys. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait till the first movie of Rian Johnson's trilogy to see real change, my opinion. That's my thoughts on this whole thing, on the Solo movie is going to mean for Lucasfilm going forward. Like I said, it's just going to be pretty much a mediocre fest. There's just going to be a lot of shrug shoulders, not horrible, not great, just something to forget. And it's just going to make a little bit of money. Some might like it, some aren't going to like it, some are going to hate it. In the end, Disney's going to make their money, pull out their Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's going to make a little bit of money. It's not going to be until the trilogy where you're going to see the plunge. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think, though? Do you agree with me? I mean, I don't want to be right on this, but the voices in my head are, right you are. I think that is what's going to happen, unfortunately. So let me know what you think in the comments. Did you like what I said? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. And, hey, may the Force be with you.